So you're planning a move to Idaho Falls, but you're wondering which neighborhood is the best fit for you. Are you looking for a neighborhood next to a school, next to a playground, next to your work, far away from neighbors? In this video, we're going to talk about 11 neighborhoods. You ready? Let's go. Number 1. This is actually 2 in 1. Belmont and Avalon. These are right across the street from each other. Avalon is on the west side, Belmont is on the east side. Both of these neighborhoods were built in the early 2010s all the way up to 2023. So it is a newer neighborhood in the area. There is some beautiful landscaping, bigger lots, and the subdivision is clean, and there are HOAs there to help maintain the entire neighborhood as well. Number 2, the numbered streets. This area is known for their beautiful, mature trees that accent these brick buildings that were built in the early 1900s all the way through the 1960s. This is a popular place for first-time homebuyers and also for an older generation that are looking for smaller homes to downsize into. In this area, you are closer to your neighbors, providing an easy way to have a great community close by. You're also nearby to Kate Curley Park and Toffus Park. This is an area where families and friends and neighbors will gather for events all year round. Number 3, Fairway Estates. This neighborhood is in the north side of town, which a lot of people prefer because it's away from the hustle and bustle of all the amenities like the movie theaters, the shopping, the restaurants. It's a little bit quieter and a newer neighborhood as well. There are some mature trees and some mature landscaping, but there is also newer builds. So this neighborhood is full of homes from the early 2000s, and a little bit farther into the neighborhood, you'll have brand new builds that are built in 2023 as well. And the homes in Fairway Estates range from the upper $400,000s all the way up to almost $800,000 to get you an idea of what kind of homes are in that area. Number 4, the Cottages. This is on the east side of town in Ammon. What attracts people to this neighborhood is that you can see farms and fields and the hills all around. So it's greener, a little bit more country, yet you have modern homes in that area built in the early 2000s, as well as a little bit newer than that as well. This neighborhood also comes with a community center where you can pay a little bit extra to be a part of this community where there's a pool, an exercise room, and an area to host parties as well. Number 5, Stonebrook. A lot of people love Stonebrook because it is the south side of town. And when I say the south side of town, I mean south of Sunnyside. And this area people love because of the very mature trees, similar to the number streets, but this neighborhood in Stonebrook, these houses were built in the 1990s to early 2000s. So very mature neighborhoods, but newer as well. So a lot of these homes have forced air heating and AC and big yards, and it's just a great place to raise a family or to retire as well. Number 6. Bristol Heights and Waterford. I mentioned both of these because they run into each other. They're very similar neighborhoods that are basically in the same general area, also south of town. What's great about Bristol Heights and Waterford is it's very clean, it's very well kept. You've got a mixture of retirees and young families, and they all really take pride in their home in Bristol Heights and Waterford. There's also an HOA, and what's cool about this HOA is I see signs all the time that say barbecue in the park this month or community get together. And so this HOA isn't just about keeping the neighborhood clean and safe, but they also get together and actually get to know their neighbors. I held an open house on Silverado, which is in Bristol Heights, and this was the friendliest, most well-attended open house I've ever had. People from all over the neighborhood came to the open house, and if they didn't already know each other, they were so friendly to get to know each other at this open house. So if it gives you any idea of what kind of neighborhood it is, very friendly, very clean, and they take pride in where they live. Number 7, Kamora Loma. This neighborhood is a highly desirable neighborhood for those who want to be up in the hills, away from the town, and have acreage and be farther apart from their neighbors. This neighborhood is also a place where you can build a large home custom to your liking, and it is very common that you may see wildlife grazing in your yard as well. Number 8, Brookside. This neighborhood is beautiful and it is full of custom-built homes that were built in the early 1990s to all the way up to 2023. So you have a good mix of mature trees, mature lawns, and the newer builds on the other side of the neighborhood as well. Number 9, Parkplace. This neighborhood is even more south of town, more south than Bristol Heights and Waterford. This neighborhood is full of ranch-style, single-level, open-concept homes that were built in the early 2000s, or even a little bit higher, 2015s to present day. And Parkplace continues to be developed as there are new homes being built there every day. Number 10, Holiday Hills, and you could have guessed it by its name. This is another neighborhood up in the hills. You will pass multiple fields and drive up the windy, hilly roads to get to your home up in this neighborhood. This neighborhood was built in the 1980s all the way up until present day, so there are some new homes being built in this mature, established neighborhood as well. And the number 1 pro of Holiday Hills is right on the golf course. Number 11, and our final neighborhood that we're spotlighting today, is Mill Run. Mill Run is on the west side of town, and somebody told me recently that Mill Run reminds them of their neighborhood they grew up in Iowa. Now, I've never been to Iowa, but if you know anything about Iowa, that will give you a good idea about what this neighborhood is like. It is a mature neighborhood. It's been around since the 1980s, and some of the houses were built in the 90s and early 2000s as well. And being on the west side, it brings you a little bit closer to the International Lab, in other words known as INL. Another perk of Mill Run is that there's no HOA. And being on the west side of town, you're also farther away from some of the hot spots in Idaho Falls. So this provides less traffic and less noise, which makes it more appealing than some of the other neighborhoods in the area. Well, there you have it. That's 11 neighborhoods that I wanted to spotlight today. There are so many wonderful neighborhoods in Idaho Falls and Ammon and the surrounding areas, and it all comes down to what is it that you're looking for? How close do you want to be to your neighbors? How close do you want to be to schools and shopping and work, etc.? If you're wondering any more about the neighborhoods in the area, just shoot me a comment or send me a text, and I'll be happy to answer any of the questions that you might have. Until next time, we'll see you later. Bye.